Okay, now that the framers decided what they wanted in the Constitution, what rights the states would have, what rights the federal government would have, what rights they would both have, they had to figure out how they were going to write the Constitution to make these things happen. So they wrote 7 articles of the Constitution. An article is like a chapter of a book, except it's much, much shorter. Then it says, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen. Articles of the Constitution. There are 7 of them. 7. And here's what they're about. The first thing in the Constitution is the preamble. The preamble is like the introduction. It says, what's the purpose of the Constitution? Article 1 creates a legislative branch, Congress and Senate. Article 2 gives us a president. Article 3 gives us the judges and who's going to uphold the law that's contained in this Constitution. Article 4 talks about states and how the states are going to get along because, we're all united now, right? Article 5 talks about how they can change the Constitution. Changing and amending mean the same thing. Article 6 talks about how they're going to pay for it. And it talks about how this is the highest law of the land and what presidents and people have to say when they take their job. And Article 7 talks about how they're going to ratify the Constitution, which means how they're going to have everybody agree, yes, this is our law. Ratify. So then they had the frame. That was the frame. The 7 articles are the frame of the new government. Now they got to make the walls and the floors and the roofs, and they have to finish the structure. They did that with amendments. And amendments are, the first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. It doesn't really structure the nation, but it gives the people who live here rights. Okay? We will go into that in much more detail the 3rd week of summer school. Altogether, the Constitution has been amended 27 times. These amendments allow the rules to change as society changes. Society changes, everything changes. If the rules don't change, the government will break, right? So it kind of has to change. So let's look at some of the changes that the amendments to the Constitution have allowed in society. The first 10 amendments to the Bill of Rights that we'll be talking about later have not changed. But let's look at some of the things that have changed.